This one change to Jamaica's constitution could hand Andrew Holness more power than any prime minister in our history. And if you think that sounds like a dictatorship, you're not alone. Constitutional legend Dr. Lloyd Barnett just broke his silence, and what he revealed should terrify every Jamaican. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly what's at stake. Hey, patriotic internet friends and family, and if you're Jamaican or part of the diaspora watching from New York, Toronto, London, or even locally, this is one of those videos you need to see. Today we're diving headfirst into a growing political firestorm. The Prime Minister wants to ditch the Governor General and replace that ceremonial role with a new executive-style president. Sounds like progress, right? Modernizing our constitution, shaking off the colonial dust. But constitutional scholar Dr. Lloyd Barnett is throwing up every red flag you can imagine. And trust me, you'll want to stick around because in a few minutes, I'll show you exactly how executive presidencies have led to full-blown dictatorships in countries just like ours. Let's break it down. Jamaica's constitution was written in 1962 when Bob Marley was still a teenager and the Queen still ran things. Holness says he wants full Jamaican sovereignty. Translation: he wants to remove the British monarch and Governor General as head of state. But here's the catch. He's pushing for an executive presidency, meaning the president would no longer just cut ribbons and shake hands. They'd run the government, command the military, decide national security. And if Parliament and the courts don't check that power, we're not talking about modernization. We're talking dictatorship light. If Holness becomes president without public vote, is it still a democracy or just vibes and dictatorship? Drop your honest thoughts below. I'm watching this thread. Dr. Lloyd Barnett's warning. That's where Dr. Lloyd Barnett enters the chat. He's not just a lawyer, he's the legal Jedi of Jamaica, Obi-Wan of the Constitution. And he's raising alarms. Why? Because every country Jamaica is being told to follow with an executive presidency has turned chaotic. Zimbabwe, executive presidency equal dictatorship. Uganda, executive presidency equals 40-year strongman rule. USA, even they are wobbling after the Supreme Court gave their president absolute immunity. You heard that right. Absolute immunity for anything done in office. That's not democracy. That's Emperor Palpatine vibes. Real talk. If Holness pulls off this executive presidency move, who's actually going to stop him? Judiciary? Parliament? Civil society? Or is this the beginning of something darker? Let's hear your thoughts below in the comments. Stakes. What we risk losing. Dr. Barnett warns that once you hand that much unchecked power to one person, it's almost impossible to take it back. Here's a quick stat bomb. 60% of countries that switched to executive presidencies in the last 50 years ended up with authoritarian regimes. And here's the kicker. Jamaica's current proposal has no details on how power would be limited or how the courts and parliament would provide real checks. It's all vibes, PR, and trust me bro, from the ruling party. And we haven't even talked about the real reason Holness may be pushing for this. We'll get to that twist in just a moment. My expert analysis why Holness may want this now. Let's be real, timing matters. Andrew Holness is under massive pressure right now. Integrity Commission investigations, accusations of corruption and shady financial declarations. The opposition on his heels, public trust below 40%. So what better move than to shift the spotlight? Let's talk about the Constitution, not my court case. Let's talk nationalism, not the missing millions. Classic political misdirection. Jedi mind trick, but in green. This is just constitutional reform, not dictatorship. That's what they want you to believe. But does power ever return once it's given away? Sound off below in the comments. No censoring, just facts. The twist, what you're not being told. Here's the real danger. The proposed executive president would be chosen by parliament, not elected directly by the people. And guess who controls parliament right now? The Jamaica Labour Party. So technically, Holness could install himself as president with near absolute power and no direct vote from the people. Let me repeat that again. And no direct vote from the people. Let that sink in. A prime minister turned president with less accountability, more control, and zero elections for the role. That's not a republic. That's authoritarianism with Caribbean flavor. Here's a summary of the highlights and the key points. Holness wants to replace the Governor General with a powerful executive president. Dr. Lloyd Barnett warns this could slide us into dictatorship. Most countries that made the switch lost democratic freedoms. Holness could become president without a public vote. This push comes amid political scandals and investigations. So here's the question, Jamaica. Are we building a republic or a regime? If this video opened your eyes, hit that like button, share it with 3 people, and drop a comment. Should Jamaica elect or appoint its future president? And if you want more uncensored political breakdowns, you already know what to do. Subscribe, hit that bell. The next bombshell drops soon. Expert constitutional scholar Dr. Lloyd Barnett warns Jamaica against embracing executive presidency. So make we hear where Dr. Lloyd Barnett have to say. So let's listen up.
First of all, people start saying they want an executive presidency, or they don't start saying what powers that person is going to be given. Executive presidencies have proven to lapse into dictatorship in numerous countries throughout the world. They have a very bad record. And we have seen that even in the United States, with its so-called high democratic traditions, or the powers of an executive president can be misused. So that I do not think it is a good model. The finest democracies in the world have the parliamentary cabinet system. So the report was written, he trespassed into that issue, and he named a number of countries that we should emulate in adopting that system. And every single one of those countries have lapsed into confusion, totalitarianism, and dictatorship.
Well, there you have it, folks. One executive presidency in the disguise of turning Jamaica into a republic. You see me? Yes. So the republic plan is just a PR to execute the executive presidency. So now with all this Integrity Commission ruckus while going between the PM and the IC, if this man become an executive president, no more Integrity Commission, that get disbanded totally, because remember, the executive president controls the government, controls the military, controls and decide national security. And trust and believe there will be no more bloggers in Jamaica. We are going to talk nothing bad about the president. You see me? So basically, the opposition party would be absorbed into one party. And who not on it have to just resign. And that would have happened. So now we already see our Prime Minister with his, dictatorial power trips here and there. We've been seeing it even since 2020 in Big C time. You see me? So we see the dictatorial tendencies pop up here and there. We see how he might try dismantle the IC and take them to court. That is another red flag again. He might fight the IC tooth and nail and dismantle the IC, and he is just a prime minister. Imagine if he turn executive president and become full-blown dictator. IC just get that shabush. You see me? We see this man have a problem with anti-corruption in general. This man does what he wants when he wants. And every example that he gave of, executive presidencies are basically failed states, countries. You Zimbabwe's, you Uganda. You see me? Even in America, the president have absolute immunity. He can do anything while in office and get away with it. So we see this executive presidency thing don't work well for the people, but it work out well for the executive president. So now if this man have so much allegations and accusations of corruption, major corruptions, what you think will happen when he become executive president? The country got turn his full-blown business, personal business. Richer, 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 richer me. What's my first name? Real. What's my last name? Rich. What's my full name? Real Rich. Richie Rich. You think we're not see nothing yet? Not to mention the damning allegations and accusations of illicit enrichment. You see me? Yeah, people are illicitly enriched themselves, allegedly. No, you don't want someone like that or any other individual like that as an executive president for a dictator. We don't want a dictator in general, but if them are illicitly enrich themselves in their normal political capacities, what you think will happen with an executive presidency? Any thought comes to mind? Put it in the comments below. Now, sir, this man had too much. Time come to put your X beside the head. Time come to get them out of power. Them are do too much. First and foremost, him turn executive president, LGBT and transmission story time hour in every school and classroom right across Jamaica. So now them all go after we picnic them aggressively in the schools because we can't talk to them again because them a full-blown dictator now. I wonder if you know the can of worms where you know go open. People blindly support a leader that is obviously should not be in power. Obviously he should have resigned a long time ago, and he decides that he must stay in a power. Despite all the damning allegations and accusations of corruption, he decides that he not gone away. That is a big red flag of a wannabe dictator. So now he will push the LGBT agenda full blown in Jamaica, and we can't do nothing, we can't say nothing, we can't protest because he control the military and the police force. You understand? More importantly, this whole needs thing where I try to come with when he done show about needs, everybody have to take that. Not everybody can me not depend that. So God go with uno. Realize that people just get weak. People don't stand for nothing again. And this is 2025. No more dictatorship regime not supposed to pop up. Me not understand. And the only way why this man can contemplate and a push for even want to go in this direction is because he would have the full support and backing of the United States. They would support him. I can't tell you that. 2025, modern time, and uno still a think about dictatorship. But they think there was a thing of the past. I wanna talk about third term go away. You're crazy. You see, me don't know about nobody else in a but I am not on board with a lot of things You see, I am not here with everybody with up on the planet. Definitely not here with everybody else. Because a lot of things where people accept, realize people have been terribly miseducated. And thanks to Marky G, why we even know about this from the beginning. Because Marky G first blow the whistle. Because you know when it comes to constitutional law, Marky G up on top of that. As me say, Holness administration are do too much. Them are do too much. Them need to come out of power like from yesterday. And me wonder if the police force and the JCF would actually just go along with that blindly. Why you don't want to live under one dictatorship regime? Why you don't want to give power to one man to rule over all of we, be lord and master over all of we? That don't make no sense. We already know say the big echelons in the JDF and JCF would be automatically on board. You see me? But the regular police and the regular soldier, at them me wonder if them would have just blindly go along with it. What kind of which dictatorship in a modern time? 2025? No. That can't work. That can't work. And Dr. Lloyd Barnett is sounding the alarm. I make we know say, oh, red flag pan that. Danger ahead. Don't embrace this executive presidency. No good can ever come from it. This whole executive presidency idea where the PM come with, we wrap up in this nice bow and ribbon with the bag of PR, the back of it, and just go along with it vibes, is just totalitarianism and authoritarianism under disguise. Dictatorship under disguise. Don't make the word executive presidency fool you. That is what Dr. Lloyd Barnett is explaining to all Jamaicans. And I break it down because he is actually a constitutional expert. He is a constitutional scholar. So when people like them they talk, individuals like you and I are supposed to listen. And don't ignore it and just make it go over our head. We're not upon that. We are not Ray Charles and the three blind mice around here. But here's the clear and present danger. Then, this said proposed executive presidency would be chosen by Parliament, not elected directly by the people, meaning no more democratic electoral process where you have elections and people vote for the president. Them the days they're done because he will be chosen by Parliament. Just understand that. No. And guess who controls Parliament right now? They said Jamaica Labour Party. We are push for this executive presidency, using the Republic as the shiny object, as the Trojan horse, wrapped and packaged up very nicely. Nice like a ribbon and red bow upon top of it. Big PR fanfare. Oh, Republic. You see me? Yeah. The masses just I say yes, get rid of the queen. Yeah, full independence, total autonomy and total sovereignty. We get to decide our destiny. Get to decide your destiny. Where, when? Dictatorship incoming. So had them, pull off the Republic thing. Holness would just install himself as president. You see me? With near absolute power. And no direct vote from the people, no more elections. So just let that sink in and just think about that for a minute. Just picture a corrupt prime minister turn president with less accountability, because him not have no accountability right now. More control and power and zero elections for the role of the executive president. That could never be a republic. That's full-blown dictatorship. And I find this very strange and ironic because wasn't Edward Seaga the one who did run out and say Michael Manley want to turn Jamaica in a communist country? Which was a big lie and a major propaganda where they did a spread for Michael Manley at the time, because Michael Manley had no such intentions. The only reason why Seaga did even said that is because Manley and Fidel Castro were close friends, and America never liked Castro and Cuba. So we find it real, humorous and hilarious. They said the Labour Party, where it said they're against communism, are now fully embracing a dictatorship regime. Isn't that something? Isn't that very interesting? But this time, it's not a propaganda. It's not a lie. The Holness administration actually try to create a dictatorial regime in real life, in real time. So, we have to just go and pay keen and close attention.